So I just wanted to kind of check in with you first before we jump into things. I wanted to see how things have been going for you the past week since I last saw you.
Th- They're going okay. I've just been kind of working and taking care of the baby and just doing all the things I don't really have a choice in doing because right now I'm solo parenting. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure solo parenting has been very stressful for you.
yeah, it really has been. I wish things would get figured out a little bit sooner than they have been, but can't make miracles happen. So,
Yeah. Well, so I know last time, before you came in for our initial session, you had signed a confidentiality agreement, but
mhm.
I did want to just review with you really quick the confidentiality. So I just wanted to let you know that everything that we share and we talk about in this virtual office is between you and me.
Okay.
The only time I would ever share anything that you tell me is if you were to express to me that you wanted to harm yourself or somebody else. Um,
Okay.
do you have any questions about confidentiality?
I do not at this time.
Okay. All right. So, okay, sorry. I wanted to do a quick assessment with you. I know last time we talked a little bit about your symptoms, and you were telling me about how you were experiencing a lot of sadness and issues with eating and sleeping and a lot of depression symptoms. So I'm just going to ask you a series of questions, and the answer, I just want you to kind of rate them for me on a scale from not at all, several days, more than half the days, or nearly every day.
Okay.
In the last 2 weeks, how often have you had little interest or pleasure in doing things?
More than half.
Okay. What about feeling down, depressed, or hopeless?
More than half.
Okay. Trouble falling or staying asleep or sleeping too much?
Mm, I would say trouble falling asleep, probably more than half.
Okay. What about feeling tired or having little energy?
More than half.
Okay. Poor appetite or overeating?
Not at all.
Okay. Feeling bad about
Well,
your
mm, I would say maybe several because I have had some. I feel like it's improving just because I got to cook for kid,
sleeping?
but yeah. I'd like to. I'll say several.
Okay. What about feeling bad about yourself or that you are a failure or that you've let you or your family down?
More than half.
Okay. Trouble concentrating on things such as reading the newspaper or watching television?
Not at all.
Okay. Moving or speaking so slowly that other people could have noticed, or the opposite, being so fidgety or restless that you have been moving around a lot more than usual.
Not at all.
Okay. And thoughts that you would be better off dead or hurting yourself in some way.
Not at all.
Okay. For the things that you are experiencing, so the questions that you had said yes to, how often do they make your daily life difficult?
I would say every day for sure, and it's been
Okay.
pretty hard.
Okay. So would you say like somewhat difficult or very difficult? Or
Very.
okay. All right. So you definitely have some severe depression going on. So that is what we will end up diagnosing you with, and that's what we'll work on. This will be like our baseline for treatment, just to kind of
Okay.
help us keep track of how you're doing as we meet. Um, I also wanted to establish some goals with you today. I know last time we discussed a little bit about the goals that you would like to work on in therapy. Last time you had said that you wanted to learn a lot of coping skills to help with just not feeling so down. Is that something that you still want to work on?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. So I'm thinking for our next session, that's what we will start to focus on is just working on your skill set just to kind of have like more of a foundation to help you cope with your daily life right now.
Okay.
Um, I know a lot of what we were talking about the last time, like it sounds like you're in like a transitional period where everything is temporary. And I know you spoke a little bit about wanting to move back in with family eventually when you have more of like the financial basis for it. So I think it would be really good for us to help you learn how to cope with your symptoms and get you through this period in time until you can have more of a solid support system and be in a better spot financially.
Yeah, I agree. I think those goals would be helpful and just kind of learn how to manage these symptoms, you know?
Yeah. Um, as far as like the issues with sleeping at night, do you have any, because I know there was a domestic incident that happened between you and your previous partner. Are you having any issues with like nightmares or flashbacks from that incident?
No, I think the trouble sleeping is just because of the feelings of being so overwhelmed. Um,
Okay.
as for the incident, I've kind of learned to accept it a little bit, but I mean, it's just mostly because I feel so stressed. You know, I've never had to do everything on my own like this before, so I think it's just been a little difficult.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What are you doing now for self-care? I know we talked about that a little bit last time, but I just kind of wanted to review it a little bit.
I feel like I'm not really doing much for self-care these days. Since the last time we met, I feel like I've kind of fell off the wagon a little bit as for self-care. I mean, I'm doing the basics, like, taking a shower every day, that type of thing, but not really actually sitting down and being able to like do something I enjoy, like read a book or anything like that. I would like to. It's just I'm having a little bit of struggles with time management.
Hmm. Yeah. And I'm sure, having a daughter that, under the age of 2, the time is very limited and it's really hard to find time for yourself.
It is.
What is one thing that you could do this week until you see me again that would be nice for yourself to help you feel a little more grounded?
I think just maybe taking even like 20 minutes or something. I just started a new book. I'd like to be able to sit down and actually read that. And because I enjoy reading, that's something I like to do. I feel like I haven't had the time.
Okay. Yeah, I think taking 15, 20 minutes for yourself this week just to do something that you enjoy, just to kind of give yourself that time to really like, be with yourself and do that self-care just to almost get your like foot in the door with it, because that's a lot of stuff that we will be working on the next
Okay.
time that we meet. Okay, do you have any questions for me?
I don't, not at all. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, I will see you next week, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.